gonna have to do this on my own again. Where the fuck is Lee?
Oh, yeah, baby! Ooh, this is amazing! I can see my fucking house! Woohoo! Whoa! Yeah! Fuck is that? Hello?
Lee, I'm on my Todd once again. Where the fuck are you?
What the fuck do you mean filming? I mean, Angel's 20 o'clock my flight time. I'm gonna bomb some fucker. It's gonna be you if you don't fucking shut it. Rick.
Look, if you're gonna be like that, you know what's gonna happen. If you won't come down, I will bring you down, motherfucker.
Missile.
Oh shit!
Hi guys, welcome to another video from Overbite Gaming. I am the Majestic Snare, and that is
A very broken man at the moment.
yeah. Poor Lee's got a bad shoulder.
He does. It's all the wanking according to him.
That sounds really
I don't know
wrong.
how he knows that though. This is the question.
Oh god, that's the best way to start off a review.
Unless I'm a screamer, of course, he might hear me from his house.
We don't live that closely together.
Oh no, I'm a screamer.
Well, today's video is a review about Ace Combat 7, a flight game from Bandai Namco.
Hey, you remembered it from the box we just looked at.
Yeah. Now, disclaimer up front, I've been a busy man and I haven't actually had time to fully complete this game, but saving grace, this man has.
And I've been a busy man as well, but still managed to complete the game. What he's meaning is he had a migraine, the poor lamb, and had to bury his head under many, many piles of sand.
I expect to hear violins in the edit.
Well, that's because you can put violins in the edit.
Yes. It's
Yes.
a sad story. But yeah, aside from that, I've spent a couple of hours actually with the game, so I've experienced the game, but I will not be giving any kind of stupid speculative IGN type reviews of going what's going on with the game, okay? Yeah. Recent news broke that IGN had basically not played a full game of Resident Evil 2 in their review and had to backtrack. So in respect of the integrity of the channel, I won't be talking too much about the game itself, apart from the parts I have actually encountered.
That's fair enough. I mean, I am a huge Ace Combat fan. I was more than a little bit pissed off when it went 360 exclusive during the last generation, which was very annoying because I love those. I have 2 on PlayStation 2 and 1 on the 3DS, which isn't actually that bad, even though it sounds awful.
Now for me, I do have memories of playing Hawks, which I think is a bit of a... we don't want to call it rip-off, but...
Well, it's definitely a westernised version of it with the Tom Clancy name smacked on it. I mean, Hawks 2, I mean, we both agree they kind of dropped the ball on that one, and it was 20 minutes of frustrated circling in most of the missions, so...
I did enjoy the voice-activated weapons and stuff, though.
Yeah, but that was on the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, on the first one.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's like... Why would you do that? You have the thumb right on the button. Why would you do
Because
that?
I'm concentrating on steering my aircraft in the right direction.
Tripping on the edge of stability. Putting off those hot dog maneuvers. Goose.
Yeah. I'm not going to call you the other one. You don't deserve it. Anyway.
Of course not. I'm Iceman. I'm a complete arrogant wanker.
So, the time I actually did spend with the game, I have to say I did kind of enjoy. I think I got to the point where I was failing missions. Just purely because I think that's a major part of this game. From reviews that I've seen from other people, as well as my own experiences, it's not afraid to kill you off if you're not doing very well.
No, there are like missions where you have sort of fail states on there, and if you don't listen to sort of the radio chatter that's going on and some updates in the middle of a mission, you might not pick it up and you could just fuck yourself.
I think that's a refreshing change, though. I mean, I've noticed that myself, that the radio chatter is actually used and not just there for background noise. And I think it's really important for people that don't appreciate games that you have to work towards to earn your respect for them without just being a one-way street. In this game, if you spend time listening to those radio chatters in your actual flight missions, and you actually just spend time with the game improving your flying, not playing on the basic controls,
I did play on the basic controls because that's how I've always played Ace Combat.
I played it like a real plane on expert controls. I enjoyed it, and it was tough.
Yeah, fair enough.
But what I'm saying is that you are spending your time trying to get the most out of the game, and the actual interaction with the missions is not just point and shoot and go for the red markers. It was more about listening to your environment and noticing what's going on with those other enemies and flight planes that are all over the place. And the one thing I didn't appreciate was the missile lock thing, which
Yeah.
I believe gets worse after the point I stopped playing.
Yeah, you will get to missions where you're in amongst like 30 or 40 planes and they're all constantly, you just basically are missile locked constantly.
So I would have liked to seen something to change that, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know,
Make
it never
more
really
visual and less
bothered
audio.
me, really, because, I mean, it's, you know, you hear that sound, you know, you got a missile up your ass. So it needs to be there. Now, where there's so many aircraft about, you've constantly got missiles up your ass. It can go on a bit, yeah, but it does need to be there. Your screen goes red as well, so I suppose maybe they could have just restricted it to a visual cue.
Or maybe a choice.
Or just saying, like, missile once.
Yeah, missile and then keep it red.
Yeah.
Or maybe do it every other 5 seconds instead of every other second.
But I mean, it's all, you've always had that like warning tone in the other Ace Combat games, so it's nothing that really sort of surprised me or was really that annoying for me because I knew it was coming, and you know you have to
fitted.
know.
Yeah, it fitted.
Yeah, and it's always like it's quite nice, being like missile, look, Alexa, order bread.
Yeah, it's fine. The thing is, it does take away a little bit from the enjoyment, but not necessarily the immersion of the game.
No, I mean, and you know, it's an Ace Combat game. If you've played an Ace Combat game, or even Hawks to some degree, you know exactly what this game is going to be. But I love Ace Combat games. I love the gameplay of Ace Combat game. But for me, it is falling into the sort of Dynasty Warriors trap. I mean, well, yes, I was speaking to him earlier about it, and he's just prompting me like a good co-host. Sorry, secondary host. Oh, shots fired.
Triggered.
But yeah, because like every time you get a Dynasty Warriors game, you're like, okay, we're going to start off with the Yellow Turban Rebellion, right? Every single Dynasty Warriors game. I haven't bought the most latest one, but apparently it's shit, so I didn't bother. And in this, you're kind of like, yeah, it looks nice, and you've got like a few bits and pieces in there, but okay. Here's the mission with the big plane with the lots of propellers, and I wonder if this mission's going to be flying down a tunnel and out the top. Oh, yes, it is. It's almost like they've done this a few times now. They've almost just remade the same game over and over and over again, exactly the same as Dynasty Warriors. Now, I love the game, but it was like, I knew what the end was going to be, because I've played it before.
Yeah, I think it does have a problem of being too similar to the games before and not different enough from the game before. It's just because it's trying to be the same game. I think it's playing and been made for a certain group of players, not necessarily worried about new players joining the fray. It's keeping the existing ones happy with just updated graphics and the same game again.
I mean, Ace Combat fans will be snapping it up, especially Ace Combat fans like me who didn't have a 360 and so have been waiting for a new Ace Combat game, you know, outside of handhelds. So I was chomping at the bit to get this.
But I will say, I think for all of its flaws of, you know, not being different enough or just being too similar and formulaic, I think it does the job well as a game.
Yeah, it always has done.
From the time I spent with it, I enjoyed flying a plane. It felt immersive, and we haven't tried the PSVR. We don't have a PSVR system, either of us. But I would imagine that it's actually good fun. From what I've seen of other people reviewing it, saying it takes it to another level, and maybe that's what this game's around. Maybe the next one will be a VR title. Will it be enough to just have it as a decent shooter from a plane's perspective as a VR game? Who knows? But personally, I think what they've done is fine. But I don't think they're trying to break any molds. I don't think they're trying to break any barriers or get new fans in necessarily. But they're just trying to do a good game of something they know how to do. And the best way to do that is just to do the same thing again with updated graphics. And
yeah, I mean, it comes down to if you haven't played an Ace Combat game and this is the sort of game you like, you're going to like it.
Well, one of the things I was just going to mention is the menus. For me, whenever I play any sort of Japanese game or Japanese studio game, the menus seem to be completely like a second thought, that are just out of kilter with the design of the game. You know, this beautiful fantasy genre, like some of the early Resident Evils and Onimusha and games like that, where suddenly you go to the menus and they're just standard fonts with selections, and it just felt really out of place. But also stylistically, it was the way they were. But here, they haven't done that. The menus feel like they fit in the world you're inhabiting, and they're just fun to be in. They didn't take you out.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I think that problem is fallen by the wayside when it comes to like Japanese games or JRPGs. Certainly, Persona 5's menus were very dynamic and attention catching. They were really well done.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because it used to piss me off.
Yeah, but I know what you mean with like the white Mickey Mouse hand.
Yes.
And just all
Yeah.
like the Final Fantasy menus.
You might as well have it in Comic Sans.
Yeah,
and-
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, just wasn't good. But the menu's really intriguing, and although the briefing sections are maybe interesting the first time, you won't want to watch them again. But they are engaging and make you feel like you are part of a team.
Yeah, you do have a storyline going on in the background, which is only tangentially sort of related to the actual
I
game.
didn't notice any connections apart from happening at the same time.
I think in the last mission you get like one of the characters from the story talks to you.
Wow, what a payoff!
But it's always been like that. They've always done this sort of like artsy-fartsy sort of high concept sort of story to go along with the game that you're having fun with. So, you know, just hit that fucking skip button.
It's very Black Freighter-y, isn't it? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, having played Ace Combat games in the past, it's always been like that. You always have like, oh, this war-torn orphan that was like rescued from the bombed-out village and stuff like that. And you're like, dude, I'm flying a plane. Like, I'm just flying by your country. That's all I care about you.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be going back to Ace Combat 7 in the near future. It didn't grab me. It's a good fun game when you're playing it, but I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm going to put this thing down and go and play Ace Combat 7.
No, I think
It's not a puller.
if I hadn't played the other Ace Combat games or Hawks, and to a much lesser degree Hawks 2, I would be much more likely to like spend significant amount of time with the game. I mean, I do want to get like they have a technology tree where you unlock parts and planes.
Come on to that. Yeah.
And that takes, you know, I've finished the game, I've managed to get like one of the best aircraft, but there's a ton of them. And then it gives you another aircraft at the end of the game that's like super expensive because it's super good.
And you can't reallocate your points, I believe. Either.
Allocate your points.
So is it MRP?
Yeah, MRP. What, you
So-
mean when you've bought something, you can't
Yeah.
refund it? No, you can't.
So, and it's an endless supply of points somewhere, I guess. If you've
It's
got
an endless
expensive
supply of
one.
points, but you get more points for doing a mission the first time than you do for going back and doing it again.
Okay. I think the skill tree of what it, all intents and purposes of your plane tree, was it aircraft tree? It's called, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've unlocked, I think, one other plane. I sadly only got that far, but it was satisfying, and the plane definitely felt different.
Yeah, they do. Definitely.
I was worried that you'd have different planes with slightly different stats, and they'd feel, much the same. But I have not played a previous Ace Combat. The previous game like this I've played is Hawks.
Yeah.
So for me, a plane that does actually move differently, it was refreshing to know that difference now was a part of my arsenal. If I needed a certain type of plane for extra firepower of air-to-air, I've got that.
Yeah, because you do have them. They do categorize them in 3 different categories, which is attacker, fighter, and multi-role. Mm-hmm. So you've got your ground attacker, you've got your air superiority fighter, and then you've got your multi-role to do a bit of both. So it just boils down to me where I've played the games before. I keep saying this, but where I've played the games before, I come to the briefing screen. I don't listen to the briefing. I just look up there and say, okay, how many air targets, how many ground targets? Okay, I know what type of plane I'm taking. Skip. There was a few.
So do you think that somebody that's played Ace Combat before, or has a long time fan, are they going to get anything out of this?
I did, definitely. Because it's been years since we've had a new Ace Combat game. It's not like Dynasty.
Well, it sounds like you still are waiting.
Well, yeah, for a new Ace Combat, they did. I mean, I won't completely shit on it because they did put some stuff in there that I haven't seen before. Like there are missions where you normally have like blue, which are allies, red, which are bad guys. These are yellow. You actually have to fly up close to them to actually identify them and figure out whether they're good guys or bad guys. Obviously, if they stick a missile up your tailpipe, it's probably a bad guy.
The combat side of things, it's felt very, very samey. In the sense that you would get into this kind of whirlpool of activity of trying to, in the basic dogfighting stuff.
Yeah, they're sort of swirling around.
I'm just going to turn right and carry on round and see if he doesn't do the same. I didn't feel. A couple of times I had to go away, come back, and fly back in because just and sadly, unless I had the right trajectory, the missiles weren't hitting; they would miss. But this is all part of flying a fucking plane.
Yeah, I mean,
and dogfighting. It's me being shit, not the
if
game.
You've got like you're coming around, and the enemy's going like this. So
You
this
fire a
across
missile,
you fire a
yeah.
missile. You're just going to miss it. So you want to try and follow him around, reduce your speed, and then when he sort of turns, then fire your missile.
Yeah,
So
and I understand that. And what I'm saying is, it's not the game being crap, and it's me learning how to play it. So there's room to grow inside the game, which is really important when you buy something for 50 quid that you're going to spend time on. Which I will spend time on, but not right now. I just don't feel the pull.
yes, we have the next game to play for review.
Exactly. But that should take quicker because we've already played it.
Kind of.
Yeah.
More so me.
Well, no, I've played Resident Evil 2.
Yeah,
That's our
but,
next review.
yeah, but you didn't play the One Shot Down, did you?
No, I didn't play that. No.
There you go.
Yeah, but it's Resident Evil 2. We're not talking about that now.
Oh, well, you brought it up.
Oh, anyway.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Well, it's available for us today, so we're going to download it today and start playing it.
Yes, I've just spent £45 on it.
Well done. Anyway,
Seems like a lot.
back to the game of the day. So I think for me personally, I don't have too much to say about the game from an experience point of view, but certainly as an opinion, it's like if you like flying simulator games,
Like arcade.
yeah, that's why I kind of did quotation marks.
Yeah.
I didn't quite know what to call it because it's a bit of both. It's a little bit more if you play it properly, like I was. Where you actually have to pitch your own roll to actually turn around and fly the plane like a plane.
Yeah, I can't even say I'm playing it for the story this time.
No, you can't. You're playing it on simple mode. That's the one below easy.
I'm just like Michael Baying it. I just want explosions.
Yeah, so we are. I think for my experience is limited, but if you like those kind of games, you will probably enjoy this. I think the control mechanism works. Sometimes too many like shoulder button action things going on. You wouldn't notice that because you were playing it with simple controls.
Dude, slow down, speed up. What?
Okay, you still had that.
Yeah, I still have it.
But yes, those felt a little bit. 'Cause if you're trying to do face buttons as well as shoulder buttons on the same side, I've never played with a controller like this.
Yeah, he plays like this.
I've always played a controller like this, so having two buttons is a little bit Yankee.
No, I've had to like get the 2-finger thing in when I've been playing UFC religiously lately. So.
Yes. So I think generally very, very good game for what it is. It's not trying to be something. It's not trying to be a 10 level game. I don't think. I think it's trying to be a competent like the 7 to 9 range.
No, I think they know their audience, and they've just given the audience what they want. It's like
that's what I mean.
It's like Jim Sterling said. It's like he buys Dynasty Warriors. He loves Dynasty Warriors, apart from the new one, which was shit. But he does realise that it's essentially the same game, just tweaked every single time. And
most franchises are nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, in this, I mean, you have, but it's slightly different for these two because you have the same missions, literally.
So it's good for me. I haven't actually played Next Combat before.
No, I mean, and I didn't have a huge problem with it, but it was the fact of, it's this mission. I'm aware of this mission. Okay, that's fine. I can do this. I mean, they do tweak it a little bit. Like before, I don't think like the big sort of airplane with all the propellers, whose name escapes me. They'll get shouted at in the comments. But
both people watching.
Both people watching. Yes. Thank you for watching, people.
Hello.
Hi, Dad. But yeah, I mean, now it's got like anti-air missiles on it and stuff like that, so it makes it a bit trickier. but it's still shooting down a big plane that's got a load of propellers that you have to shoot bits off of.
Well, I think I've I've come into contact with that plane.
Yeah, you may have done,
with all the fucking drones.
Drones underneath it. Yeah, the drones they're not new, but I can't remember if they were like used. I think it was just like a big fucking plane before.
I mean, they are tough to take down just because they're quick.
Nah, they're easy.
Well, they would be on basic bitch controls. I'm not going to shuffle about it.
You're going to get Scott to sue us, man. I'm pretty sure he's trademarked basic bitch controls.
Yeah, well, I love the phrase. I'm taking it. Take it. Layman Gaming. Thank you for that.
Oh, no.
That's where I saw it. Basic
Was
bitch
it?
controls, yeah.
I thought it was in his individual video. Never mind. Because obviously, like, when you have a duo, like Layman Gaming, or us, there's obviously one that's, significantly better and will go on to big things, and the other one's just there.
Wow. Okay, you want to play that game? You can play that game.
All right, Snowflake.
Keeps on coming.
Oh, you can run my coattails as long as you want.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, lovely. So, for that reason, I'm going to give this game a 1. Worst review ever. No, I think marks out of 10. I'll go first because I haven't actually had as much experience with the game as you have. But
so it's more of a first impressions for you.
yes, for me it's a first impressions, and I think it's a strong first impression. I had good times with it. I didn't feel like I was throwing the controller down every time I died. If I was failing a mission, it was like, okay, I failed the mission because I either hit the fucking floor because I'm an idiot, or I've actually let one of my teammates down. So I didn't feel like it was a complete and utter failure. It was like, okay, learning point, come back in. So controls are good, visuals are good. There's definite impact feeling when you get hit. There's impact feeling when you destroy something. So all of that kind of choice of weapons does make a difference. The different planes make a difference. So all in all, I would probably give this a first impression, because I don't know about the rest of it. I'll give it a 7. Okay, I'll give it a 7, and only because I'm giving it. And 7 is a good score, but for me, a 7 is more like I want to see where it goes, and hopefully I'll be expecting it to be more of the same each time of each mission. So no, actually, it could be nice. It could be nice because I have enjoyed my time with it. I'm 8. It's going to get an 8.
Oh, okay, very good. Having completed it, there is some variety in it, but most of it's stuff we've seen before in the series, which sort of, it is the most Ace Combat-y game that we've had, and it does what it does extremely well. I've always been a big fan of like the more arcadey sort of flight sims, like even the space stuff like Wing Commander and all of that. I really love that sort of shit. So I'm all over that. What was it? I'm trying to remember what it's called. Heroes Over the Pacific, I think it was, where it was a World War II plane one, sort of very similar to that. As well as Burning Angels, I think those old ones, the 2 games. They were sort of like the third-person sort of World War II plane thing. But all that shit, I just lap it up. It's right up my back alley.
Oh dear.
So I'm going to
How do you
give.
fit a fighter jet up your back alley?
Oh, I got some airfix. It's fine. It's only like 1/16 scale, so it's like.
This is the most dirty-filled fucking review we've done in ages. You realise that?
Oh, those air were long and small. But yes, it's the kind of game I loved. I would have liked to have seen a story that tied more heavily into the gameplay rather than just sort of events surrounding it.
Yeah, I think
like if we could see your character, for instance, in any cutscene whatsoever, that would be good.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, but also I think it's almost the way the game is put together, and if that's been the way they've done things in the past, then why would they change it? You're right, some more immersion of that's not me flying plane, it's someone else. I'd be okay with that if they did that.
It kind of annoys me, like when you have a plane that's a dual seater, and I'm like, who the fuck's that guy? Because you don't have a co-pilot. But you would have like one of the big SU bombers, and you sat side by side, or in like an F-14 when you sat behind you. And you're like, well, who the fuck's that? No one. He's just a fucking graphical detail on the plane because it happens to have 2 seats.
It would be nice to actually have a story that you were connecting with your radio controller back at base or something.
Yeah, isn't that? I think there's a bit at the beginning where you have to answer questions. It's been a while since I played the beginning part, so. where it's like, is this fine? You know, how's it checking out? You okay? You understand the orders? No, this was Squadron Leader. I beg your pardon, because as I pre-ordered the game, I got Squadron Leader with it, which is the
riding on coattails apparently.
Sorry, my fault. But we got Squadron Leader with it, which is the previous game, probably the most different one, because you actually had a squadron and shit like that.
Yeah. I was racking my brains thinking, I don't remember.
No, you don't remember
that.
No. So I finished. I didn't finish that, but I played Squadron Leader for a bit as well. So I've kind of confused the two in my head.
But what this does show is just the fact that the quality of a game is really, really important.
Yes.
So before I start waffling on, what's your score?
My score, scores on the duels. I'm also giving it an 8. I love the game. I wish there was a few more new things in it, but it does exactly what I'm looking for it to do.
Yeah, another one. I think it might be the second game ever we've agreed on a score.
Yes. What's the first one? Bloodborne?
No, definitely not. No. I don't think that made single figures in my eyes.
No. Is it a 1?
I think I marked it down quite heavily because of my...
I just remember I ended up with a chicken on my face.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I was just about to say that this game shows another effort at doing a quality product. Are there any microtransactions in this game?
Nope.
And it's still good.
There is a PlayStation Store section on the main menu, but there is fuck all in it at the moment. So
well, DLC's fine. We're okay with DLC. Like that's acceptable because you're buying stuff.
Yeah, especially if it's new planes and shit like that.
Yeah.
Something significant rather than like a skin for the plane. And like half this, I've got like most of the skins unlocked. Most of them all look the same. I remember like playing the DS version where you could get like a Super Mario skin for your fucking plane. It was ridiculous, but awesome.
You don't want things like that.
Or a Pac-Man skin.
Who wants a pink Darth Vader?
Well, someone made it.
Exactly. But yeah, that's our review of Ace Combat 7. What's the subline? Unknown Skies or something?
Unknown Skies. I get confused because we've got like Distant Thunder, which is the first one I ever played, and then we've got Unknown Skies and
Distant Skies. I don't know.
This is the one I got on 3DS, which I can't remember the name of.
Ace Combat 7.
There you go.
But yeah, it's a fun game. Check it out. Maybe wait for it to come down in price a little bit. Unless you're a fan, you've already bought it already, probably.
If it sounds like a game you'll like and you've never played it before, buy it now. Because if you've never experienced an Ace Combat game or even perhaps a Hawks game and you like the sound of that, you think, oh, that sounds cool. Buy it, because fuck me, it is good. It's just, if you've played them before, you're just like, I was expecting a little bit more on the new sort of side of things, not just sort of like tweaks.
So there we are, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget, we have videos out every Wednesday and Saturday, so check back then for some awesome content like this.
And it has been most awesome.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to the video.
And ring the bell if you want to be provided with notifications of whenever we upload a video, because YouTube is a pile of shit and it may actually unring your bell for you, so make sure it's rung.
Make sure your ding-a-ling's dung.
Yes, I have to wait for him to go to do that.
But guys, take care of yourselves and we'll see you again soon.
Take it easy, guys.
Bye.